around for you to attack them. They're periodically going to mount incursions against your base. That invasion detector up there lets you track incoming enemies. It'll let you know the type, it'll let you know whether they're coming in on the left or the right, and it'll also let you know about how far they are from the base. So we're going to go out here and build a couple of defenses. We already have a few set up. On the left there, it's a Pyro Turret. These don't have very good range, but they have a lot of stopping power. The Combustor Turret's kind of the opposite. Lots of stopping, lots of good range, but not a lot of stopping power. Fortunately, the guys that are coming in are pretty weak here. I mean, you can take them out with one hit. Although I'll warn you, they do a lot of damage to generators, so they're kind of like a pawn in chess. If you can get it to the other side of the board, you're going to be in big trouble. So we took out that first wave. That admittedly was very easy. It's not going to be that easy next time. So we're going to go out onto the battlefield and try to find some weapons. You'll see we've brought back the hover boots from a crack in time. We knew that this is something we just had to do because we're building these large open battlefields. I am a huge fan of the hover boots, and I'm proud to say that I think we've made them easier to use than ever before. I honestly wish that I had them in every game that I played. It is totally awesome just to fly around with them. So over here we have a couple of more powerful Grangarians. These guys actually have guns. But fortunately, our demo player back there, like, is totally owning here. Here's another weapon pod. We have to just perform this quick unlock sequence. If we're able to capture the little white pieces there, we get a small bolt bonus.
Cryo Shot.
You'll see in there that instead of having one weapon, we had to choose from three. In full frontal assault, you always are going to be making choices. What weapon do I get? What path do I take? That was a very important thing that we wanted to do in this game. So we chose the Cryo Shot over here. This thing will freeze enemies in a couple shots and is extremely satisfying. That is, I mean, does it get better than that? I don't think it does. The freeze and the wrench throw. Over here we see another weapon pod. It looks like the Grangarians have built a small defensive perimeter around it. Luckily, Cryo Shot makes that a lot easier. So we have another choice to make here. And another quick unlock sequence, so you can see if he can. So, okay, so he got the bolt bonus a couple times. And we have three in here with the Doppelbanger, the Sonic Eruptor, and the Pyroblaster. I think we're going to go with the Doppelbanger this time. The Doppelbanger, you can throw it out there, it'll act as a turret, and it will also attract enemy fire. So if we toss one out here, a couple of those Grungoids to the weakest Grangarians will go and take it out. And in the process, they will themselves be destroyed. We had another guy that's hiding up there, but Greg can make short work of it. By the way, that's our long-time Ratchet producer back there who's demoing this, Greg Phillips. And he is determined to do this so fast that I can't keep up with them. So if I ever fall behind, that's why. Greg has been producing our games since the 90s, which are just a memory to me. I was in college then. And see, he's going to collect more bolts, which will allow me to catch up, which I appreciate. So we are out there, we're exploring the battlefield, we're trying to find weapons, we're attacking the Grangarians, but we always know in the back of our mind that at any moment they might mount another attack. That's one of the really cool, unique things that we've brought to the Ratchet & Clank formula in full frontal assault. There's some tension between attacking and defending. There's tension in exploration. You always know that there's an attack coming, but you don't totally know when. Now, we just collected a very powerful weapon there from a major node. That one was kind of a gimme. Most of the major nodes are going to be harder to find, and just as a general rule, the more powerful the weapon, the harder it's going to be to find on the battlefield. You'll see that he found sort of a hidden jump pad that took us to a grind tube, and it took us to the inside of this temple. And I will note that like any long abandoned temple ruin, the traps still work perfectly. That's totally true in the Ratchet universe, like it is in real life, right? And then you'll see that we have another weapon pod up here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Where did you get that line from, TJ? It sounds so familiar. And then, so we unlocked that one, and we now have the plasma bomb launcher. So at this point, we have 5 weapons already. That was another thing that was really important in this game. We wanted to actually throw more weapons at people than they knew what to do with.
More enemies are headed to the base.
So we teleported back to the base, and now there's another attack coming in. This one's going to be a little bit tougher. And then there's another kind of thing that we can throw out. This is a barrier. These things are kind of vital in that they will slow down enemies. The enemies are going to have to take out the barrier generator before they come in. That's kind of like one of the fundamental elements to base defense and full frontal assault. So again, we start off with the Grungoids here. So we had enough bolts, which are used to purchase defensive. We had enough bolts to deploy it. We have barriers on both sides now. But there's a new kind of enemy coming in. This guy up here is the Grungarian Demolitionist, and he's kind of special in that he prefers to attack base defenses. He's going to totally eradicate your turrets before he does anything else. And this ends up kind of throwing a wrench in the gears for your strategy. You could build the perfect turrets and be totally on autopilot, or at least think you are, and then this guy's going to come in and he's going to destroy them all. Unfortunately, that's why we give people rocket launchers. And Greg back there is able to take them out pretty easily. So we have another kind of enemy coming in a second. These guys are just like the full frontal assault's equivalent of the cave troll. They're not very smart, but they're really tough, and they're going to come in and bash everything to bits. But now what we have coming in is one of the most powerful guys. That is a Grungarian bomber up there. These guys are loaded with firepower and heavily armored, and because they hover, they're completely immune to mines. This is the kind of enemy that requires player attention. There are a lot of these enemies that you can just build the right set of defenses to take care of, but this guy, you're going to have to confront him directly. Like everything else, rockets work really, really well. They work for me at the DMV, they work all over the place.
The Q-Force base is under attack.
I'm sorry, the FBI is going to be waiting outside after this is done. I can't totally see if there are one or two in there now. There are two, okay. So that's another thing. When these guys come in at the same time, it is important to make sure that you remember the other one, because one of them will totally wail on your generators while you're caught taking out another one of them. But see, Greg's making pretty short work of these guys. He is almost out of ammo, and if he dies, we'll all laugh at him. This is like his worst nightmare. We're going to stand up and point. This is like just the motivation he needed. Look at this. Right, just one more. The Combustor, first weapon. It's not the most powerful, but it's totally going to take this guy out. Alright, cool. So we fended off the Grungarian invasion. Well done, Greg. And that marks the end of our demo. Full Frontal Assault's coming to PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita, and we also have right now a private beta going on because we have a competitive mode.